So we just had Parshas Noach, and as we have seen, the earth was filled with Hamas. Vatimale et haaretz Hamas. And the idea is that, how do we live in a world where there's Hamas everywhere, meaning where there's the actual Hamas terrorists, when there is lies, when there is immorality, when there is promiscuity, when there is theft, allowed theft almost, like in California, and all those things. How do we live in a world that is so dark, so full with evil? So the way Noach was able to survive in the Teva, says the Al-Sheikh, it was not just enough that he was in the Teva. He needed to survive while the forces of judgment were going on in the world. Like it's literally happening today. There's a lot of destruction happening on all levels, natural and by men. So how do we deal with that? How do we survive such moments of judgment? So Noach was the new Adam, so to speak, and it was the first Moshiach, and he needed to go in the Teva. Now, what's the Teva? So the Teva represents the house, because we have, first of all, it's easy to imagine that was the only house available, but he went with his family, and the Teva, Ha-Teva, is the gematria of Bait, which means the house. It's the same thing. And the house, we know in Judaism, we say that the house is the wife. The wife represents the house. The wife goes 7 times, by Ashkenazim at least, in their weddings, goes 7 times around the husband, creating a force field, an iron dome. The wife is the iron dome of the husband. She is shooting at things that's coming towards her house, towards her family. And as my Rebbe said, that's what Sarah was doing with Avraham. She was protecting him from the outside and what was destructive inside Ishmael. She felt there was a separation that needed to be made in order to survive and save Yitzchak. So we see that. So what did Al-Sheikh say? The Al-Sheikh says that Noach had to take care of all the animals non-stop, day and night, giving them food, doing what was necessary. So he had to be involved in a chesed that was almost extreme. That's the chesed that saved him. Now, chesed is not doing something that just feels good. Chesed is usually doing things that is uncomfortable, that pushes my limits in giving and taking care of others, and even when it's not comfortable. So we stretches our muscle of love, try to love the one that my haters, and we have to go out of our way to bring chesed. So chesed, we know, starts home, says the Chafetz Chaim. All the chesed you do out there has very little value if it's not founded with a chesed that starts home. So the chesed you do home, the chesed you do with your spouse, with your wife, with your husband, the chesed you do with your kids, that's the real chesed. So we have to do a tremendous chesed. We have to think, yes, it's wonderful. We have to do chesed with the soldiers. We have to do chesed with the innocent, the ones who are hurt, with the, in the name of the hostages and all that. So we have to give money, we have to supply what I need, but we have to make sure we understand that this chesed has only value if it starts home. So we have to see the beauty of our wives, the energy that the wife provides. Sometimes we feel she's too strict. But the woman is called the Gvura. Avraham is Chesed, and Sarah is the Gvura. In order to do real good Chesed, we need a strong Gvura, not to break certain boundaries and to keep our home safe, because otherwise the Hamas comes inside the house. So sometimes, right, so the Avraham and Sarah represented that, and we have to be like Noach and his teva. We have to be like Avraham and Sarah. And in many ways we could say that's the tikkun with Adam and Eve, where Eve was supposed to protect Adam from the snake. Instead of protecting from the snake, she got trapped. And so that's the tikkun. That's the woman's responsibility to protect the husband, and the husband's responsibility is to do chesed even when it's not comfortable. Obviously, I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everyone. We're all in the same boat, literally in the same teva. So this is what's gonna enable us, one of the many things that is gonna enable us to float in the destruction of Hamas, in the difficult challenges that we go through. And little by little, the water is going to go down, and God willing, we'll be able to go out of the teva, meaning we'll be able to live all together in harmony in the world where we don't need as much gvura, as much boundaries, because we have learned to focus on the chesed home and love home. We have to understand the only thing that can defeat really evil, the hate, is love. Therefore, our love for our spouse, our love for our kids, our love for ourselves is primordial, of primordial importance. We have to really, that's what we have to focus on. Then we can love others better. Now, another aspect of it is that your body is the teva. The body is the boat. The Vinagaon give that example with the story of Yonah, the soul going into Yonah being in the boat, then being in the whale. That represents the soul coming into this world. So our soul comes into the teva, into this body, and the soul has to do body. And I always like to give the example that the soul is the husband, and the body is the wife. So the body can protect the soul. The body has to protect the soul from the outside. The body is Sarah, the body is the Gvura, is the house, and the soul has to do a lot of chesed for its body, and that's the perfect couple. So I know I keep coming to the same thing, but I have my soul needs to learn how to love my body, and its qualities, give it what it needs, and at the same time the body has to learn to protect the soul, just like a wife would protect her husband. We're reminded of that by men who wrap 7 times that feeling, like the woman who goes 7 times around the husband. It's the body wrapping 7 times around the soul with that feeling and saying, I'm going to protect you. Every morning when we put on feeling, we're saying, I'm going to protect my soul. I'm going to create a 7-layer protection for all the 7 spheros. So, Bezas Hashem, now that we have a bit a drop of understanding, we can use that and truly do the work of being aware everything that's happening with me now on a personal level has an impact on a global level and helps everyone out there. We have to make sure that we don't forget that as much as chesed we want to do out there, we don't forget the chesed that needs to be done in here. Sometimes the chesed out there is a distraction for the chesed that needs to be there. Do we truly love every Jew, religious, non-religious? Do we truly love every human being? We have to destroy evil, but we have to love human being. And the Zohar says that in order to truly, the work of the tzaddik is to love the Rasha and bring him back, not to destroy him. Now, sometimes there's some forms of evil that are purely evil that we need to be destroyed, like Amalek. That's a minority. That's like Hamas. But then there's all the other people who are not part of that. They just have been affected by evil, and we want to redeem them. We want to forgive them. It's all the innocent affected by the Hamas, all the other organizations. So the goal is not to hate them. The whole goal is to love them and want them to see the truth and come back to God. So there's a lot of work to do, Baruch Hashem. But it starts home with loving ourselves, accepting our flaws, loving our flaws, supporting ourselves, bring ourselves to the tshuva. So the Moshe is going to come, and thanks to the tshuva that people are going to make. So we have to do tshuva in our own life with ourselves. Have my soul return to my body return to my soul, and then return to God, return to our spouse, return to our home, and spread the love there. God willing, we won't have to wait too long till we can go out of the ark and send the dove of peace, the bird of peace, so peace among all the nations, God willing. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen v'Amen.